Hello everyone and welcome to my notebook tour. If you have watched my journaling tips video, you will know that I am doing a journal along with me series on Instagram in which I journal in this notebook here with these stars. On these stars are prompts. And I'm really loving it. I'm having a really good time doing this series. And I asked in the last video, would you like to see a notebook collection video? Because I have a lot of notebooks and I have recently become obsessed with seeing people's lovely notebook collections. So I am excited to get started. I am filming this in a way that I've never filmed a video before. The camera's like on a tripod above me and I'm having to film everything in reverse. So hopefully this works out for the best, but I hope you enjoy. These notebooks come in no particular order, but this one is a pretty old one. I think this was bought for me on a birthday a very long time ago. My mum was very good at finding weird and wonderful things. As you can see, this was Carrie's Holiday Diary and Special Events 2004. As you can see, I didn't write a huge amount in there. And whatever is in there is probably pretty cringeworthy, but it's a lovely notebook nonetheless. Again, quite an old one. I was given this on my 16th birthday, I think. It was from my brother and my sister-in-law, from an Etsy shop, I believe. I think it says in the back where this is from. myhardboundbooks.etsy.com. I don't know if it still exists, but if you like the look of this journal, then it might be worth having a look, because it is absolutely beautiful. It's a really gorgeous, it's all very like teen angst. I did do this though, and whilst quite childlike, I think it's quite sweet. This is actually a really gorgeous book journal that was given to me by the Happiful team, Happiful magazine, when I was on their front cover. And it documents all of the books that you have read and what you thought of them and when you read them, and I just think it's a really sweet thing, and I've been filling it out as I go. I was sent these by the Literary Emporium. They are Harry Potter themed notebooks. They're very sweet. I like them a lot. These two are currently empty, and this one I actually wrote all of my notes in for All That She Can See, and this is one of my very few full notebooks. This is one of my favorite notebooks. I cannot remember where I got it from, or how much it was, or I don't remember buying it at all, but everything inside it is from around 2008, 2009, so I would have been around 16, 17, and again, there's not a huge amount of it that's been written in. That's it. The rest of it is completely blank, so I probably will finish this off at some point. But everything in here is notes for a novel that I was writing when I was about 16, which I do still have around 40 to 50,000 words of in a document somewhere. It's from Ecolo, World Traveller. Maybe they still exist, I don't know, and maybe you could still find this, but it's made in Turkey, apparently. This is one of my most sentimental notebooks. It was given to me by a dear friend who I'm still in touch with, but as life goes, you sort of drift apart over the years. We were really good friends when I was about 16. This was given to me in 2009. He went to India one summer to visit family and brought me this back. And he wrote a poem just for me on the inside cover. So this is a notebook that I will always treasure, and maybe one day I will get to write in it. This notebook is an even older notebook from around 2005 at a guess, I reckon. I actually ripped all of the pages out of this one because I am gonna finish it off at some point. There's a lot of pages that have been, I have no idea what that is or who Ash is, but well, that's a fun discovery. There's a lot of pages, as you can see, that I didn't use when I was much younger. So I ripped out all of the pages and I didn't throw them away. I have saved them and I will put them into a scrapbook of their own just for the memories. But it's a very nice notebook. I can't find anything on here that says where it's from, but I have a feeling it was just a simple W.H. Smith purchase. This is another notebook from childhood, I think around 2006 possibly, and again I attempted to rip all of the pages out in order to save them and use the rest of the notebook, but it kind of fell apart on me. I will try and salvage it, hence why I haven't thrown it away, but it's a very nice notebook. It's like very spongy and springy, to the touch. It feels like cushioned on the outside. But I actually really like this notebook. Again, I cannot find anything that says where it's from. Thoughts before I go to bed. Carrie H. Fletcher, this is not a diary. This one, however, very much was a diary. I braided the bookmark, which kind of now makes the bookmark useless because it doesn't really fit in the book. Again, I ripped all of the pages out of this one because there was so much of it that I didn't use. Pages saved for scrapbooking, and again, this is a really gorgeous notebook. I loved all of those world passport stamps on it. And this was from Paper Chase. I actually know where this one was from, but it is a very old diary. I think this one was from around 2004, 2005 maybe. So I doubt you'll be able to get it again, but you never know. Give it a go. But it's very, very pretty. I love this notebook. This notebook was given to me by a family friend who is no longer with us, so I'm very sentimental about this notebook. I will never get rid of it. It needs a very good clean because the leather sort of goes a little bit funny when it's left for too long. So it needs a nice good clean. I haven't written on it. I definitely will at some point. I'm getting better at the journaling. The reason I want to journal so much is not only because it's good for my brain and my mental health, but also because I have so many notebooks that need to be written in. This is the final journal that I ever wrote in as a teenager. This starts on my 16th birthday and ends on my 17th birthday. There's not enough left of this notebook to rip out the pages and start again, so I'm just sort of keeping this as it is. It's just gonna be a little time capsule on its own. This is a paper blanks notebook, and I'm pretty sure you can still get the same one, or at least something very, very similar. I actually have this in miniature as well, and I think I began to write in this one because there are pages ripped out of it that I must have ripped out when I was going through these a few months ago. Is there anything in the back of this one? No, nothing in the back of that one, sadly. But this is also paper blanks. It's exactly the same notebook, just the smaller version. This is them side by side, so you can see the difference in size. This is a notebook that I distinctly remember using when I was around 14 years old, 15 years old. Again, I ripped all the pages out to preserve in another scrapbook somewhere because there's so much of this that never got used. So I will get around to using it at some point again. I don't know where this notebook came from, but the back of it says that. For anyone who can pronounce that, you are welcome to look it up. This one is obviously from Walt Disney World from the year 2012, which to me feels like it was only yesterday. The year 2012 to me doesn't feel like it was 8 years ago. There's a few pages in this that have writing on, and I read it thinking, why do I seem so young and so juvenile? And then suddenly it occurs to me, it's because it's almost a decade ago. It's 8 years ago. I was 19 and I am 28 in a couple of months. So the reason I read this and think, oh my God, I seem so young, it's because I am young, or much younger relative to how old I am now. I think I paid about $20, maybe a bit less, maybe like $17 for this notebook, but it is really pretty and really gorgeous, even though it is a bit battered now. But this will probably be another one of those notebooks that I tear the pages out. I only wrote on that much and there's that much left, so. This was gifted to me at the beginning of my time on YouTube. I can't remember when or by who, but it is a Huck and Pucker notebook, and it says bookish and proud of it, and I think a couple pages of this were written on, but again were torn out, but the pages have definitely been saved for another scrapbook. This lovely decomposition notebook was given to me by Rob Houchin last year, but I think they were gifted to him, and around the same time I had just gotten a tattoo that looks very much like this, so he let me have this one, and I just think the design on it is so beautiful. I have yet to write in it, but this is the sort of notebook that would really get me excited about writing in it. This is one of the most gorgeous notebooks I own. It's so sweet, it's like pocket sized, it's so, so beautiful, and it was given to me by the daughter of the drummer on the tour of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Barry Brewer, although we called him Basher because he was the drummer, his daughter Becca, just one of the sweetest girls ever, and she gave me this. I think when I was leaving as Truly, I think was when she gave it to me, but I've yet to write in it, I've yet to use it. But one of the things I love about this is that it's not attached to the inside, so when this fills up, I can just buy another notebook to slot into the cover, and it'll always look like that, which I think is a gorgeous idea. This, I think, is the last notebook I have with a story behind it. This was given to me by the wonderful Zoe Dewano, who played Cosette with me in my second year, I think, of Les Miserables, back in 2014, 15, I think. And she gave this to me for my birthday, maybe? But it is such a beautiful notebook. I don't know where she got it from. I feel like it could be an Etsy number again, but it's just so gorgeous, and I love it so much. And the fact that it comes with that gorgeous pencil as well. I will get round to using this, Zoe, I promise. The notebooks that are coming next are just empty notebooks that don't really have a story behind them. I've just acquired them over the years, having been gifted them or given them at Stage Door by wonderful people who know that I love stationery and notebooks. So now I'm just gonna whiz through and show you how pretty they all are. So I actually just had a massive rummage upstairs and found these that I kept aside for a reason. These are all of the notebooks that I wrote my books in. So this notebook fell apart very, very quickly. As you can see, it's all like sellotaped up the side. This one was from Artbox, and this is the notebook in which I wrote All I Know Now, which was my first book. It was non-fiction, and I wrote all of the notes for it in this notebook. These two notebooks were on the other side. The initial concept for On the Other Side was actually written in this notebook. In the middle of the night when I woke up, I was sort of half dreaming and just couldn't properly get to sleep. But I had this really interesting, weird half dream type thing. So this is where I wrote down the initial idea for On the Other Side, Saturday 27th of December 2014, and it didn't come out until 2016, I believe. And this was like just the initial idea and the initial structure of the book, which came right at the end of this notebook. So then the rest of it was written in here, which this literally looks like a teenager's notebook. But this is from when I was 23, 24. Oh wow, look at that. I didn't even know that was in here. That's so cool. This book is from All That She Can See. I planned out the whole book in this notebook, and because All That She Can See is about someone putting their feelings into food, I actually wrote down all of the cafes that I sat and wrote All That She Can See on tour, and what I was eating at the time. Because why not? This is maybe one of my favourite notebooks. I think this was gifted to me from Pottermore, or the Warner Brothers Harry Potter tour. It's got my initials in it there, but you can't really see. And this was the notebook for When the Curtain Falls. Towards the end, it began to completely fall apart, which is why I had to sort of abandon it shortly before I completely finished it. But this notebook also leaked into my time at Heather's, so these are notes that I got in a note session whilst we were doing the show. And finally, my Heather's notebook. We were given these notebooks at the start of our run in Heather's during rehearsals. They were made especially for us. I don't think these were ever sold front of house. And because I was given this notebook right when I was about to start writing another book, I promised Annie Fickman that I would write all of my notes for it in this book, which I did, and it became In the Time We Lost. I'm sure I probably still have a few notebooks dotted around in boxes that are still in the garage because we still haven't moved in properly, because I have no bookshelves or wardrobes or storage space to put anything, so everything's still in boxes. So there's probably a few that will pop up in the next few months or so. But there we go. This is the notebook that I'm currently using, and I'm already pretty far into this one because of the Journal Along With Me series, so it won't be long until I break into a new notebook, and I'm very, very excited about it. But thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was not incredibly boring. But considering this is the sort of thing that I enjoy watching on YouTube, I hope that at least a few of you enjoyed this.